You're watching GNN, the warmest gaming news show on Twitch. Welcome back. And if you're new here, you're in for a treat this week. First up, it's our friend Wilden's time to shine, cause he's got the slip on some new Call of Duty info. Then, Richard Lazagnan played the Resident Evil demo, and we get to hear his thoughts. And lastly, Project Supervillain talked Daddy Jeff Kaplan, and give his working life at Blizzard an obituary. All that this week on GNN. Now I get the pleasure of passing off to our hyped up host this week, Sarah Jewell.
Hello to all my guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome to Gamingness News. My name is Sarah Jewell, and this week we will be bringing you the latest and greatest gaming news and updates, per usual. Glad to have you all here. Now to jump right into it, starting off our show this week is Wilden, one of our regular contributors, and he will be covering the new Call of Duty update. Wilden, tell us what it is. Bring us those details.
Hey y'all, Wilden here, and this week we're talking Call of Duty. That's right, Call of Duty is coming out with a new game at the end of this year. Big surprise. We always seem to get a new Call of Duty at the end of almost every year because it's a big thing. It's been a big thing for a very long time. They've announced that Sledgehammer Games is going to be the one to take up the mantle this time around. They previously worked on Call of Duty World War II, and it seems that this next game is also going to be Call of Duty World War II as well. It has a codename of Vanguard. We don't know whether it's going to continue right off the last one, if it's going to take place in an alternate timeline. There's a lot of different theories around as far as what it could be story-wise. The big kind of deal, though, is that not only are they talking about doing single player and multiplayer, but they also mentioned co-op, which is something you don't hear too often nowadays. They also mentioned, too, that like the last Call of Duty, they kind of did some integration into Warzone a bit. Don't be surprised that also happens somehow this time around as well, because it's just Warzone's a big hit thing right now going on for them. We know that a bunch of different companies like within Activision have worked on Call of Duty before, and they alternate around depending on what the franchise is in Call of Duty and things like that. So it usually switches up. More recently, a lot of the companies have been working together, though, on each Call of Duty game. As they keep making more and more of them, it seems that more and more companies are getting involved. We know the big news recently about maybe Toys for Bob has now kind of been pushed into Call of Duty as their main source, away from the Crash and the Spyro and the things that people were enjoying from them. It seems that they're going to be focusing too more on next-gen stuff, so it's possible this could be next-gen only in PC, so PS5, Xbox One X, PC. Unlike the last one that was kind of more cross-generational, it might be more focused just on the newer consoles. Yes, guys, it's going to be very interesting to see where they go. We'll probably find out at E3 next month when all the gaming news and things are coming around. So until then, guys, I will see you on the next Gamingness News.
Thanks, Wilden, for that update. We love having you here, bud. Appreciate all your contributions. Always got a good story. Next up is Richard, who will be covering the Resident Evil update and kind of giving us the thoughts and feelings, the lowdown, some insights as to what's going on. Take it away, Richard.
Get off of me! Stay the fuck down!
I gotta say, I'm surprised you made it this far. It'd be a shame if something happened to you now.
You killed Mia. Now do me and finish the job.
Resident Evil Village is about to hit us full in the face with vampire and werewolf nonsense. And while it may not make sense at first glance just how this fits in the normal story of secret biological experiments gone terribly, terribly wrong, we'll just have to sit tight and wait for the full story. In the meantime, from May 1st to May 9th, you can play 1 full hour of the castle and first village segments, so get it while you can. With the release of Resident Evil 7, we hit a massive tone and perspective shift. Literally. The first-person perspective lends itself well to horror games, as you've seen in Alien Isolation and others, and this is no exception. I have no real issues with the series being in first person, as I find it aids to the raw horror aspects more, something that the series has been sort of lacking on from its inception. Survival horror is one of my favorite genres of all time, but we haven't really hit any level of fear outside of being woefully underprepared for a fight. Just make sure you raise your mouse sensitivity so you can actually participate in one of these fights and survive. But I digress. Resident Evil Village is Resident Evil 8. And while I feel that it also technically counts as another Resident Evil Revelations game, it is the next major mainline entry to the series. You play once again as Ethan Winters from Resident Evil 7, whose daughter has been kidnapped by the big, sexy lady herself, Lady Dimitrescu. And of course, it is your job to go and rescue her, like you did with your wife in the last game. And the jump that Capcom has taken from the rural south to an Eastern European setting is the perfect place to start for such an increase in quality and graphical fidelity. The game looks absolutely gorgeous, with and without ray tracing on, and runs really very stable. I only encountered any large frame drops around particle effects, namely in the locusts surrounding one of the witches, and that was only when she got incredibly close for an attack against me. As a note, while I'm writing this, I have recorded and played on an RTX 3070, so your mileage may vary. The textures and lighting in the RE engine really shine here, as you can get up close and personal with everything thanks to the camera. And the improvements seen from Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 remakes can be seen here full force, up front, 100%. The environments feel incredibly real, and the level design is made so you can hardly get lost, at least until some major backtracking sections will come up for when you're trying to clear each room later in the game when you have all the keys or other progression items unlocked. That's just typical Resident Evil though. But each room in the castle is lavishly decorated, and the village outside feels lived in, despite being attacked by werewolves, and just having a bunch of small farmhouses painted with snow. The demo's structure itself feels like standard Resident Evil fare, going through these environments to find items to help you fight enemies until you stumble across the more mandatory progression items. Combat itself is a little less stiff than it is in Resident Evil 7, and will be much more varied. We've seen Ethan with a sniper rifle in the trailer, so we can only expect to see a lot more weapons and a lot of different varieties through the course of our adventure. If you're a fan of Resident Evil, you'll definitely feel at home in Resident Evil Village. And that is an especially big point to make for this game. You can directly compare this new release to its most similar analog and fan-favorite entry of the series, Resident Evil 4. The structure of the story and set pieces will likely resemble that of Resident Evil 4 in some way or another, and compared to the 8-ish hour story length in Resident Evil 7, we'll probably get a game as long as Resident Evil 4, and that came out 15 years ago, and that is an excellent thing that we'll be getting that again now. Letting this game and its setting stew and linger on us as long as possible should only be doing it a service. Other Resident Evil games that I play can be beaten in about 3 or 4 hours, if I'm trying to collect most of the pickups at least, and I get a ton of replay value out of them. But I wish they were longer, and Resident Evil Village might just give us that in spades. And it's good that we're getting our money's worth of Resident Evil Village now. Since the Capcom leaks that came out a couple weeks ago, we know their projected release schedule through to 2024, and included in that list is, in fact, the rumored Resident Evil 4 remake that we have been clamoring for so very long. While this is likely not just a tech demo for that game, I can only imagine how the design here is going to influence a fully rebuilt Resident Evil 4. Upscaled to 4K, new textures, new voice acting, new models, everything that we can expect can be found in some sort of a beta here. And that is a very good thing. This is a very good, very polished demo, letting Capcom continue to flex on us with their incredible RE engine. And if the real game is anything like this, it'll absolutely be worth the price of admission. And if not, it's just another Resident Evil game, and I will still play it regardless. Resident Evil Village comes out on May 7th, so be prepared to fight off some vampires, some werewolves, and whatever else it decides to throw at you for its entire runtime. I just really wish the merchant came back properly so we could hear him go, stranger, once again.
Thanks for the update, Richard. Appreciate it. Frankly, this is about as far as I would go with Resident Evil. That game gives me nightmares. I cannot handle the scary games. That's why I watch other players play horror games. So thank you for that. I might not be sleeping tonight, but it's appreciated. And, speaking of awesome clips, awesome insights, we love to show off what our community can do. We want to see you submit all your clips, segments, whatever you can create to info@nesthq.online. Again, that's info@nesthq.online. And with that, we'll highlight our featured player of the week.
Where are we, in showers
The plant
now?
was relocated.
Yeah. We have the site set up over there. If they're going to try to push the site,
Yeah, they're pushing shark stairs.
pretend to push the other site.
Shark stairs. Fuck. It's gonna be a games push again.
I downed one of them, but they got picked up.
Richard, don't commit too hard. Okay, I'll watch the hallway. Never mind.
I got her.
Was that dorms? Or upstairs?
That was the craziest aim I've
buddy.
ever seen, Richard.
Nice, Richard, nice.
Our container has been
Okay,
located.
Iana's pushing bathroom. Maverick's burning a hole in bathroom as well. Probably gonna frag me. Why I am gonna move now. Fuck. On the foosball table?
I'm moving back.
Yeah, backside of foosball. Big time. Dude, no way. Peeker's advantage. He killed me, I didn't even see him.
Buddy!
Dude.
Oh
Was that an ace?
my
Was that an
God.
ace? Yeah, that was an ace!
Another awesome highlight. Thanks to the community. Love seeing you all here. Next up, we have Project Supervillain. Always bringing us a good story. But this one, whoo, got a little tea here. Daddy Jeff Kaplan is leaving Blizzard. Can't wait to get some details on this. Take it away.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to GNN. I'm your host for the Project Supervillain News Update, Arc Drifter, and today, as you can see, I'm all by my lonesome. That being said, I'm gonna still deliver the news just like I always do. This week, we've got something in regards to Blizzard that we need to talk about. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so the news that we have today is in regards to Jeff Kaplan leaving Overwatch. Now, I don't know if anybody's heard of this already because this news did come out last week. We're finally getting to update it now, but essentially, Jeff Kaplan was a very key figure in the Overwatch team, and I'm a big fan of Overwatch. I really care about the future of the game. I don't know if you guys can see all the merch and stuff in the background. I'm a big fan. I like Overwatch. I was honestly not a big Blizzard guy beforehand, but Overwatch really brought me in, and I really enjoyed that game. So to see the leader of the game, who's been a very key figure in Overwatch history, just gone, is very, very troubling, and I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to speculate a little bit, but first I'd like to go through this article that was released by Blizzard Entertainment themselves. I'm going to read, and then we'll just discuss afterwards. So this statement here I have is actually just from Jeff Kaplan. You can see right there. He wrote it in all lowercase for some weird reason, but so as you guys can see here, this is a quote from Jeff Kaplan, according to Blizzard. They wrote it in with this news update here. It says, "I'm leaving Blizzard Entertainment after 19 amazing years. It was truly the honor of a lifetime to have the opportunity to create worlds and heroes for such a passionate audience. I want to express my deep appreciation to everyone at Blizzard who supported our games, our game teams, and our players. But I want to say a special thanks to the wonderful game developers that shared in the journey of creation with me. Never accept the world as it appears to be. Always dare to see it for what it could be. I hope you do the same. GG, Jeff Kaplan." So I'll leave the speculation till the end of this, but it's very clear to me, just from the surface of this text, that Jeff, like with that last quote there, you can definitely tell that he is saying to them they want to move on. I'm not confirming this or anything, because this is a bit of an open quote, but I do want to say, like, this does seem like he's pushing everybody away from Blizzard here and saying, like, you should want to see things in a better light. Don't just accept things for the way they are. And I feel like that is in part in relation to Activision taking over Blizzard, but we'll discuss more of that in a second here. The other thing I wanted to read here is just Aaron, the new team leader's update here. "Jeff's been a great leader, mentor, and friend. He knows how much we're going to miss him. I've been lucky to work alongside him and the rest of the Overwatch team for many years in building something that continues to inspire people all around the world, and I'm honored to carry the torch forward. I love Overwatch, from our first pieces of concept art to the first maps we built, to the first time I was able to run around as Tracer, who at the early point shot laser beams out of her eyes. This game has just clicked with me. I love its inspiring, hopeful, beautiful world worth fighting for. I love its characters, larger than life, colorful, powerful, and global. And most of all, I love the fast, fluid gameplay requiring teamwork, situational awareness, and quick decision making. I also recognize that making games at Blizzard has always been a group effort and never about just one point of view. Together with the rest of the team, I feel fortunate that we have a deep bench of development and creative leaders. Numerous veteran Blizzard artists and designers, some extremely talented new blood as well, along with tons of support throughout the company for the live game and for Overwatch 2. Speaking of Overwatch 2, development is continuing at a good pace. We have an exceptional vision we're executing on. The reaction from many of you to the updates we shared at BlizzCon Online thrilled us, and we have exciting reveals planned for this year and beyond as we ramp to launch. We'll be sharing more frequent updates about Overwatch 2 progress and new features in the live game with you all very soon. While I have no pretenses about filling Jeff's shoes, I'm excited to step into the game director role and continue to be part of the team that's putting all of its heart, talent, and focus into the next iteration of Overwatch, and I'm honored to continue serving this incredible community. So that's it, guys. That's the news. I do want to start looking at this from a speculative point of view here, so this is just me talking. What I think the future of Overwatch is, I don't see it being good. I don't see a bright future for Overwatch. I'm kind of scared for it. As a big fan, seeing the lead team director leave and all the other previous people leaving across Blizzard development teams throughout the years, it's been rather troubling seeing lots of people complaining about how Activision's views have been seeping into things and kind of corrupting the company. Now, I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but it does, from an outsider point of view, very much seem to be the case. Again, I'm not a huge Blizzard guy. I was only a big fan of Overwatch. I played a little bit of Heroes of the Storm, only because there was Overwatch guys in it. But I'm sure if you've asked a lot of Blizzard players nowadays, they probably have a very similar opinion, saying it's kind of scary to see what the future holds for Blizzard games and the properties of which. But to go back to that quote that Jeff Kaplan said, "Never accept the world as it appears to be, always dare to see it for what it could be. I hope you do the same." It's very telling to me. I mean, I hope you do the same. It's saying straight up, you guys need to get out of there. Like, that's pretty obvious to me. Again, this is speculation, but to me, it seems like Jeff is unhappy with what's going on at Blizzard HQ, and I don't think anybody could blame him. Now, some of you might remember Mike Morhaime, the former CEO and co-founder of Blizzard Entertainment, and a host of industry veterans. They actually teamed up and made Dreamhaven, a new publishing studio where they're going to be creating their own games, and they have a couple development studios already bought by the names of Moonshot Games and Secret Door, which I think is just really cool to see. When you have a company that's very much more focused on people versus profit, it's good to see that they're going to be trying to make changes in the gaming industry, and I hope they succeed. I certainly will be looking out for their games to try and support them, because we can't keep continuing with this whole pleasing the investors thing and not worrying about what the players think. But that being said, it is all speculation. It's all my opinions. So take it with a grain of salt, you know what I mean? We could very well see Blizzard come up from the rise and everything could get better for them, but I'm not going to be holding my breath personally. So, but that being said, there's more news here, guys. Don't go anywhere. GNN continues. That's just it for our portion here, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Thanks for the submission, guys. Appreciate you. Definitely going to look more into that later myself. And reminder to all of our community members, we want to show off what you can do, what you can create. We want to highlight you. You can take these videos, segments, clips, and send them to info@nesthq.online. Again, that's info@nesthq.online. Alrighty, friends, thanks for coming with us. This is about the end, sadly, where we got to wrap it up for our episode this week. We loved having you here, and a big thanks to Wilden, Richard, and Project Supervillain for bringing us those hard-hitting stories. Always something exciting going on in the gaming world, I feel like. And remember to follow us on social media. You know, those little icons in the corners where our logos are? Go ahead, follow that. Also, it's linked below in the description. So give us a like and a follow, maybe even subscribe. And that way you'll get all our latest news, updates, broadcasts, information on upcoming tournaments, and other content as well. Thanks again for watching. We appreciate you all, and have a great week. Bye.